Hi folks, Ivo here. In this video I'm going to present you the Mikrotik Wireless Wire. It's an exciting kit that Mikrotik presented this year. I actually seen the live presentation at MOM Berlin earlier in 2018. It's a really interesting piece of kit because it uses 60 GHz wireless technology. Actually, it's 802.11ad, although it's not advertised as that. This kit provides up to 200 meter of wireless connection, and and it's already pre-configured, so you got two devices in the box. And let's first start with the unboxing. But before we are going to take a look at the box itself, this box is not the usual Mikrotik cardboard box. You can see we have a lot of information, a lot of advertising, and example of use of this kit. So I'm going to unbox it. Okay, we slide this box, remove this decoration cover, have this black box, also with product name on it. So let's take a look what's inside. We have the usual short manual of the device, or actually the kit. Have this protector cover. So as I said, we have two devices. We have this neat hole positioning paper. We have the manual for the mounting of the device. We have two PoE injectors. These are both gigabit PoE injectors. We have two power adapters, and these are 24 volt and 0.38 amps. So this is actually a low power device. We'll talk about specification of the device itself later. Same adapter. Okay, we have two of these devices, two wAP60G. We are going to take a look at them a little bit later after we finish the unboxing. Then we have the wall brackets, or actually these are actually the brackets that you use no matter if you want to mount this device on wall or mast or anything. You can slide the zip ties or hose clamp through these holes, and then you can slide this on the device and lock it. We have hose clamps, two hose clamps, two packs of zip ties. These are actually stands, so you can position these devices on the desk stands, or whatever you want to put it. And some screws. Okay. Now that we did the unboxing, I'm going to talk a little bit about specifications of these devices. So these devices are ARM 32-bit architecture. It's IPQ4019 CPU. It's a quad-core CPU with a frequency of 716 megahertz. Those CPUs are paired with 256 megabytes of RAM. This is really substantial. And we have 60 megabytes of flash. So these devices are powerful enough to be dual server if you want in a small network, or even capsman. The dimensions of the device, it's 185 millimeters by 85 millimeters, and they are 30 millimeters thick. You can see at the back that we have groove for the bracket. They have routers OS license level 3. They both have they all have PoE 802.3 AF or AT. The input voltage is between 12 and 57 volts, and you have a DC jack, and you can, as I said already, you have PoE. The maximum power consumption is 5 watts. So I'm going to open them. As you can see, each of these devices is its own sticker, and this sticker actually tells us the pre-configured IP address, username, password, also MAC address, serial number, and the role. So you can see this device is slave and this device is configured as master. You can see gigabit Ethernet, power jack, reset button. There are LEDs here, it lights up depending on the signal. We have ground screw, and also you can, if you remove the plastic tabs, you can put cables through these grooves. Something that's also worth to mention about these devices is that if you upgrade it to the higher level license, if you upgrade the master to the higher license grade, you can do point to multi-point connections. So it's not the only point to point connection, it can be point to multi-point. So if you have this master, you can get additional wAP60G, or even other devices that are not Mikrotik already started selling as 60 GHz CPE. So I'm going to also disassemble. Disassembly is really easy. This device. Okay, it seems that I'm going to need to remove this also. Okay, we can take a look at the device. You can see the antenna. This is the patch antenna. At the demonstration that I saw at the MUM Berlin, this can handle quite a range of the degrees these devices, these slave devices are mounted, considering the master. So you don't need to be pointed actually straight towards it. It works fine if it's a few meters out of the center, so no problem with that. If I take the PCB out, you can take a look at the CPU. I would like to mention that this whole gray part of the case is metal, so it acts as a great heatsink, while the white parts are plastic. And from my experience, this kit works great. I already have one of these kits mounted to my house. It connects my IP camera to my home network, and I hope that one day I will show you how my home network, which is mostly Mikrotik based, looks like. Can we now disassemble this? I'll take the antenna connector out. Okay, antenna is out. Hopefully we can take a look of it. Is it still stuck? Okay, I succeeded. So there is another connector. Okay, so this is actually the device itself. You can see the CPU, the RAM, we have several thermal pads here. You can see one is still stuck on the chip. So, as I said already, based on my experience, this kit works great. There are no problems with it. I actually don't have such a great distance. It's not 200 meters, it's more like 30 meters. But as I already said, you can mount this slave not so it's not pointing straight to the master, and that's how it's mounted in my case. I used these white brackets with zip ties on one end and hose clamp on the other end, and no problem so far. The device behaves great even with if you consider snow, so no problem with that. You can easily slide it out. When you mounting it, it's required that you put a screw in here, so it will hold the bracket and it won't allow it to slide down. So that was my unboxing, overview and disassembly of the Mikrotik Wireless Wire kit. I hope that you like it. Evil signing out.